Hey, what's up? So, Disney Elio is one of those movies that gives me a hard time to review because, on one side, I would give this a 4 out of 5 because of the technical achievement. It's a beautiful looking film, it's very enjoyable, it's so well done, but it's still Pixar. It's what you would expect from them. The animations are fantastic, especially with Elio and his friend. They're really, there are smaller details that you see with his friend that just make this a very interesting experience from an animation point of view. But if you were to stop and look at it from a storytelling point of view, this is one of the worst Pixar stories I've ever seen. It's a very good idea, but it's executed poorly because I think their primary objective was two things. Number one, it feels like it was generated by the UN. You need to include everyone globally. You need to make this feel like a global story. It's like the brief for Disney from Disney was, you need to make this feel like a worldwide story. Find a way of making some part of the story feel global. I think it's that need for Disney to show us that they are diverse and they're inclusive. There's nothing wrong with diversity. I love seeing myself in movies. I would want Mexicans to see themselves in movies. But remember, this is the same studio that did Coco, which, in fact, the first thing that when you watch Coco, you don't think about Mexican. You think about the music, you think about the animation, you think about how it made you feel. This one does not do that. This one reminds you that it's a Mexican film. It reminds you that it's a Mexican kid. And then it reminds you that it includes everyone else in the globe. It was so heavy-handed with this message. And then, I think for me, the worst part, the one moment that I thought, why did I buy a ticket to see this? I could have watched it on streaming, was the end. Because here they clearly make it clear that masculinity is evil. Masculinity is red. Strength is evil. Strength is red. It's danger. In order for us to get stuff done, we need to become vulnerable. And I thought the villain was absolutely weak. I don't know how it did in the box office, but I don't think this will do well. Yeah, it's a poorly done film. Honestly speaking, that villain for me did not work. They did not do enough with him. He's not a complex Disney Pixar villain, the kind of level that we have expected from Disney Pixar. The characters are not even interesting. Apart from Elio and his friend, all the other characters are there to drive the story forward. They don't actually really engage with you from a deeper level. Even the villain, because the villain is pop up to just threaten people. And then, apart from the kid and the relationship, is just there to be a threat. That's all, and that is coming from Pixar. Disney Pixar. The same people who gave us some of the most complex character. I mean, Up. Their villains have never been surface level. Think of Auto in Wall-E. The villain has never been. They're evil, but they've never been surface level. This is a very surface level villain. And I think for me, the biggest disappointment is that this is still Disney trying to prove that it's diverse and inclusive. That for me was the biggest disappointment. I wish they would have just let Pixar do their thing. I wish they would have just let Pixar just make the movie that they wanted to make, because some points, actually in the first and second act, I can see Pixar doing their thing. But then there are moments where you have to put in a Mexican song in the background to remind us that it's a story about a Mexican. Then you have to also now do something so that you can show that all the rest of the world is included within this particular story, which doesn't really drive the story forward. I thought that was, those debris, those things never needed to happen. It's a super machine. It's a super intellect machine from a different space station. Why would it be dumb enough not to be able to identify debris? How can it be dumb enough not to be able to identify debris? Yeah, so I thought this was a terrible film. I'm just being honest. For a Pixar film, this was not good. Technically, it's awesome. As I said, I gave it a 4. It's awesome. The animation is fantastic. But the story is just not that. It's just not it. So basically, that's it. Remember to always watch what you enjoy and enjoy what you watch. What did you think about the film? Because if you were to just stop and not think about it critically, yeah, you'll enjoy Elio's journey. I enjoyed Elio's journey. I thought it was a very interesting journey. If they didn't need to stop and tell us that, oh, look, it's a Mexican kid. I mean, I enjoyed Coco, as I said before. I enjoyed Coco, not because it's a story about Mexican, but because it's actually a very well done story with very good musical set pieces. This one is just trying to tell you that Disney is inclusive and it's diverse. As I said, I have nothing against diversity and inclusion. I just wish that it was properly done. I just wish that it was packaged way better than it was. And I wish that the villain, I wish that they had actually paid more attention to the villain and made him a bit more complex, because this is a one-dimensional villain. I'm sorry to say, if you watch the movie, you know what I mean. Yes, it would be easy for the kids to understand, but this is the same team that has given some of the most complex villains. If you think of The Incredibles, the villain there, extremely complex. It's not just he's pure evil, yes, but when you look at his background, there's a sense of sympathy you have for that particular character. For this one, you don't. Anyway, that's it. Thanks for watching. I'll see you on the next one. Adios.